Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Well, I want to talk to you about taxessave.com, and I want to talk to you about why the importance of actually sharing with you something that happened just personally to our practice, being censored by Meta Facebook, being actually censored on a title of how we saved a client the ability on taxes to Roth convert $1 million. Now, folks, when you're starting to be censored by this lunatic left-driven media nonsense, right, with regards to it being too political, is what the excuse was that was used with us being told that we needed to change the title of How to Roth Convert $1 Million. How to Roth Convert $1 million. That was censored. Folks, imagine how you're going to be censored when it comes to your serious taxes. See, it's one thing, right, to have the political, lunatic left-leaning media come out and promote, right, the idea that you can't do this and Trump's bad at this and the big, beautiful bill is failing the House and it barely passed and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm a little fired up here because I want you to go to taxessave.com. That's taxessave.com, and learn how important it is that if we're going to be censored on titles like How to Roth Convert $1 Million, imagine how we're going to be censored when it comes down to the seriousness of when we start to draw this money out of our account, or when the government starts forcing us out of this money when we turn a certain age of required minimum distribution, what that's going to do and what those taxes will likely look at, since they can change the rules. And if they can change the rules around what the titling of things that are deemed appropriate to be able to put out and help people with, imagine what kind of censoring they're going to do as it relates to controlling us with regards to our taxes. So censoring control of taxes is the theme. And I want to teach you that timing and technique at taxessave.com. I think of two great cases that I want you to go look at. We do a case of the week, and we had such a good response and reaction to last week's case of the week. It was somebody using $30,000 to create a savings of $130,000 of tax savings. Not tax on $130,000, the tax back in their pocket, $130,000. This week, I'm going to teach you how a client saved $330,000. And it's a case study by using two different strategies that I'll teach you by reviewing these case studies. And for those that want to know the tax risk road you're on, and if you want to remove yourself from being censored around the seriousness of what will likely be a higher taxation, right? We're running about a $2 trillion plus spending deficit this year. Already there's a lot of infighting, even in the Republican Party, of what is going to get passed or not passed with increasing the debt ceiling $5 trillion, the deficit spending, how we're going to grow our way out of this. So it's not certain. So the timing and the technique. I'm going to teach you the technique at taxessave.com, folks. That's taxessave.com. What you'll do is you'll come there. There's two case studies I teach at the very top. But then if you scroll down, you're going to see in the upper right-hand corner 3 lines. If you click that, it now has our taxes saved cases of the week. And I'd like for you to look at these two cases. The one in particular, the first one, or the one that's the episode's titled Investing $30,000 and Saving $130,000 of Taxes. But then look at the other one. The other one was a client we saved just shy of $250,000 of taxes last year, and almost another $90,000 of taxes this year. See, if you're like a lot of people that we meet with, and maybe you are, I think you probably are, that say, yeah, I've got a CPA or I've got a tax professional, but they're just numbers in and numbers out. Folks, you don't have a plan. You definitely don't have a tax plan. You have a portfolio. And if you want to learn what a client gave us great feedback, I'll leave you with. He said, you know what I really like about how you guys have synchronized the tax side in conjunction with the wealth side, that gives me a lot of advantage that I think people should take more advantage of, Chuck. Well, folks, I want to teach you how to take advantage of that. When you go to taxessave.com, it's complimentary. I want to gift you the book, The New Holistic Retirement Book. I did the forward in the book, and there's great information as it relates to taxation, tax risk of rate, and tax risk of legislation. And if we can be censored on a title, which you'll see in one of the two case studies, of how we actually helped a client convert $1 million out of their IRA to Roth using two strategies that offset all of their taxes over a 2-year period, and you want to learn how to remove your income and assets from Uncle Sam and the IRS, go to taxessave.com. That's taxessave.com.